Hey everybody, good morning. We are here at the San Diego Wild Animal Park for early hours. One of my personal favorite benefits of having a membership. We actually get in an hour early once every month. And so we're gonna go around, get to see a lot of the sights and attractions before anybody else even gets here. Alright, so we are heading to the Africa Tram, which means we have to pass by the lions, so let's see if any of them are out right now. Looks like we've got the three sisters out early this morning. For those of you interested, we actually have another video loaded up of a close-up of all three of them.
And welcome aboard the Africa Tram. If you can hear my voice,
and so we are on our way.
Alright, very good.
Normally, the tram would actually get off quite early, but it seems like today, because things were backed up, they wanted to make sure the tram was full, so we're actually leaving about 15 minutes later from the station than normal. No biggie, but obviously we'll cut into a little bit of the time we had for some other stuff this morning.
They are not locked, so they will not support your weight. And that goes for any children on board. I don't think I saw any this morning. That's kind of crazy. Now, my name is Ebony, and I'm going to be your guide as well as your driver. And we have to go over a little more safety, so go ahead and take a look up at the ceiling. You're looking for yellow emergency strips. They're running on either side of the ceiling, and you'll press and hold the strip, and you'll send a tone to me, and I'll come back and assist you. But if you happen to drop something out of the tram, park maps, sunglasses, cell phones, a camera cap, cover, these are all very important. We want to get them back to you, but they're not in the glass that is right behind me, and I will be able to assist you. Now, over on the right-hand side, we have our fastest land mammal in the world doing the second best thing that they can do, and that is take a break, rest. Big cats do rest for roughly about 20 hours out of the day. Now, as the cheetah is lying flat on the ground, you can see how flat that body is. They are built very streamlined. That's why the head is small, as well as those ears. Now, the streamline is going to help them be able to race up to about 65, 70 miles per hour. And they use their almost 2.5 foot long tail to help them maneuver and change directions at those high speeds. Now, just like a canine, they have claws that do not retract, and that is going to help them be able to grip the grass just like a cleat.
Are rhinos. Good
But
job.
if they are not successful in catching their prey the first time, they will have to take a break to be able to rest their lungs. Now, to increase their chances of being able to catch their prey, they have that beautiful spotted coat, which is called cryptic coloration, which allows you to get as close to the prey as they possibly can. Now, cheetahs are naturally solitary, but sometimes you'll find two less dominant male cheetahs that are solitary. On the right, we have our flamboyant. Now, they're hanging out pretty close to the wall because they do have one of their animal care specialists cleaning up their habitat. But you are always going to find the flamingos in a large flock, which is called a flamboyant. Now, the large flock is used for safety in number. Now, our flamingos, they are not the bright pink coloration that you typically think of. If I could see his face, I could definitely identify him, but at the moment, I only see one. But the Cheetah Rhino Rescue Center is one of our many conservation projects that is going to help us with creating a world where all life thrives. Now, this particular project is working towards conserving the most critically endangered rhino species, which is the northern white rhino. Now, there is a very high poaching rate. We lose about 1 rhino every 8 hours, so roughly about 3 rhinos daily. And with this high poaching rate, the northern white rhinos have been knocked down to 2 remaining individuals. Now, it's a mom and a daughter. They were once in the Czech Republic. They are now in Africa on a reserve, and they are under armed guard custody. Now, this mom and daughter, they are beyond the age of breeding, so the species is functionally extinct. Now we're hoping that a surrogacy program will be able to help these northern white rhinos. Back in the 70s, we started collecting genetic material. Today we've collected over 10,000 specimens, and 12 of them have come from the northern white rhinos. Now we're currently in process of learning how to create a northern white rhino, and the reason why we're learning is because we are working with stem cells. But we're going to take this embryo and artificially impregnate the southern white rhino species because they are the closest living relative to the northern whites. Basically, they are subspecies. Now we're hoping all of this will result in the birth of a full-blooded northern white rhino. And then we also have our Ellipson waterbuck, and one of the babies that was born in January. One was born on January 1st, and the second one was born about mid to late January. But one of them is nursing from its mama. Now, one of my favorite features of the Ellipson waterbuck is their wet toilet seat mark on their bottom. Now, I can guarantee you they are not potty trained, but the purpose of that wet toilet seat mark is to help them be able to keep track of each other. It is called a follow me mark, which is the same as a family or a school group wearing matching shirts when they go on a trip. It lets everyone know that they are together, and if they happen to get separated, they know to look for the matching shirt or that wet toilet seat mark. Now, the Gemsbok also have a follow me mark, and that is going to be their long black tails. Now, let's go ahead and take a look over on the right-hand side because we have our colony visible, and the colony is the flock of pelicans, and typically when I drive by, they're sleeping. Now, we've got Dalmatian pelicans as well as great white pelicans. The Dalmatians are going to be a bit more grayer in their coloration. Now, we also have our yellow-billed storks. Those are the smaller white birds with the black feathering on the edge of their wings, and of course the long yellow-black tail. Now, they have their stilted legs to help them be able to walk deeper into the water. And as they're walking, you'll often see them covering their faces with their wings, and that is going to block the glare of the sun. Now, they are going to use those long spear-like beaks to be able to help them capture small fish and reptiles. And then lastly, we have our crown cranes. We've got two East African crown cranes, and they have that fun yellow crown of feathers on top of their head. This is called a panache of feathers, and it is used for camouflage, helps them blend in with long blades of grass. Now, often you'll see the crown cranes around larger animals as they're hunting because it scares up the insects that have the horns. That is going to give them an equal opportunity in obtaining their resources. Now, this mask of theirs is also camouflaging their natural eye. Go ahead and raise your hands if you can see the striping covering their eye. Yeah. All right, raise your hands if you can see the black spot in their ears. They've got one black spot in each of their ears. I think the one that was looking at us kind of walked away. But they each have one black spot, and they're fairly large, and these are called false eye marks. Now, the wire mesh and the rocks is going to prevent the animals from chewing on the bark of the trees. Now, this is an instinctive behavior because by eating that bark, they are able to get more nutrients from the tree. Now, we are an accredited zoological facility, so we are required to have a certain percentage of shade in each of our environments. So we have to make sure that these trees are able to survive. So if you take a look at this tree where the bark isn't covered, you can see that they've chewed that off, and that's like one of their favorite spots to kind of chew on that tree. These are our Maasai giraffe. Now, giraffe are the tallest land mammals in the world. They stand at roughly about 16 to 18 feet in height, which is equivalent to roughly a 2-story home. But these are the Maasai giraffe, and they are the tallest of the giraffe species. Now, with this dark coloration of our male Maasai giraffe, you can't help but look at him because it is a very attracting dark color. Now, that is the purpose, to help him stand out to the predators, but it also makes him more attractive to the ladies. Now, because he is the tallest giraffe in the park and he is so dark, I do like to call him the definition of Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Now, he is a whopping 19 feet in height. Now, giraffes have been specifically adapted to eat from the trees, and that's why they have their amazing 6-foot-long necks as well as their 6-foot-long legs. And there's not that many other species that are going to be competing with them, but one of their predators is going to be the African elephant. Now go ahead and watch our female. She is chewing the bark off of this branch of browse, which was probably a branch of Australian acacia. Yes, I did say Australian, but it's still an acacia, and there's over 1,000 different species of acacia found in different parts of the world, like Australia, Africa, and also in the United States. Now, giraffes are going to be spending roughly about 18 to 20 hours out of their day browsing for food, and they are going to use their tongues. Now, for every foot of height, a giraffe will have an inch of tongue. And I told you our tallest giraffe in the park is 19 feet, so he has a 19-inch long tongue. Now, if you'd like to get a visual of really how long this tongue is, if you take a look at one of your hands and make a pointed finger on whichever hand you're looking at, from the tip of your pointed finger down to your elbow is roughly how long the giraffe's tongues are. Now, our female, she's going to be showing you her tongue. She's chewing on something there. And you'll notice that her tongue is dark in color. Now, that dark coloration is going to help prevent a sunburn on that sensitive body part, since they are exposing it to the sun for most of the day. Now, they will be consuming roughly about 75 pounds of vegetation daily. And this is going to help the environment because it's going to help control the overgrowth of the trees. And that is why giraffes are known as the landscapers of the environment. Now, because they are helping shape the environment that they thrive in, as well as elephants and rhinos, even the Cape buffalo, they are all known as ecological engineers. Now, our Cape buffalo are dark in color, just like our male Maasai giraffe. It's going to help them stand out. Now, black and white are the two most common colors that you'll find out in the wild. Whether an animal views things in color or on the grayscale spectrum, every species can see the black and white. Now, we have our roan antelope with a dark coloration on their face. That is their threat mask, just like the gemsbok. We also have one of our grubby zebra boys, and then we also have 3 lowland Inyala. Those are the dark, or actually 2 of the lowland Inyala. They have a dark colored coat. Now, as you look at that grubby zebra, you'll notice that his striping is very thin. Oh, there's the other one. I didn't see him. I guess he can't giddy up. I don't know. But they have the thinnest stripes of all the zebra species, and that's because they are most reliant on their camouflage, which is called disruptive coloration. Now, remember, black and white can be seen by every species. And so the stallion, or the dominant male zebra, will purposely stand away from the herd so that he's able to stand out to the predators. And he'll do his best to try to intimidate the predators to try to keep them away from the dazzle. Now, a dazzle is what you call a herd of zebra. And that's because when you look into the herd of zebra, it is a dazzling sight. Now, the dazzle, the striping is going to blur. Now, this is going to create the illusion that they are a large mass of an animal opposed to individual zebras, and this is going to give them safety in numbers. The giraffe, all the way down on the left-hand side. Can you see them? Go ahead and give them a great big wave this morning. What? You guys aren't waving. This is nice. Okay, there we go. Waving. Now, why are we waving to the giraffe and they're so far away? Because most of you will do whatever I ask and just kind of basically micromanaging one of our animal care specialists. Now, we clean up dung every single day, except for the rhino dung mitten. Now, the rhino dung mitten, we've got one up front. It's the darker pile on the sand. And the reason why we don't clean these up every day is because we are replicating what happens out in the wild. Now, rhinos are going to use the toilet in the same dung mitten. And I'm trying to gauge the age group on this tour. You guys look like you remember chat rooms, right? Raise your hands if you remember chat rooms from like the early 2000s. No? Okay, yeah, it's okay. You know, classic 2000, it's great. Now, chat rooms. When you when you log into the chat room, the first thing that you would say was ASL check. And that meant age, sex, location, or age, gender, location. And I like to think of that dung mitten as the same way, because basically they're all using a toilet in the same one. They take a sniff, and they're like, okay. Now you can also think of it as a Facebook post. So we're going to take the two that are right by the feeder. We've got Mom Kianga, and then her daughter's to the left of her, and it looks like that might be poop. But it's okay, because she's not even 2 years old yet, but that's little Kianga. So Kamaria is going to be using that Doug mitten, and there's a good possibility she's going to be going into her estrus cycle. So she's basically going to say, hey, this is Kianga. I do have a baby, but the estrus is coming, so come look for me. And a male is going to smell that, and that's so y'all can run up there real quick. No, I've only seen him one time. He walked out and walked right back in. Oh my goodness, yeah. You know what, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my tour.
So, because we have lunch reservations today, we're doing things a little bit differently. Rather than going and checking out the cheetahs and the birds, decided to let the girls run around a little bit. They were great on the tram, nice and patient during the line, so letting them get out a bit of energy is going to go a long way to make today really enjoyable, not just for us, but for them as well. And always fun watching them run around too and have fun. Look at you go, my little monkey.
This is so high.
Look.
Are they doing the tube again?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just sit.
So we're now heading over to the Great Apes exhibit. Gonna check out some monkeys and some gorillas.
Look at the little cracker.
Mm-hmm.
Quarter into feed. Or not, actually, I think it's still working.
Dad, you're so tall.
And here we have some more of the flamingos.
Silly. I just do it out.
You're coming on the business and doing a review?
Every day, every day, every day, every day.
Now we're gonna head over to Tiger Trail, which is the tiger exhibit here at the Wild Animal Park. It's a nice long trail up there, and we don't have any time for Australia, so that'll have to be in another video, but at least we'll get to see some tigers today. No, that lady's definitely Jewish. So Tiger Trail features 3 different Sumatran tigers, which are an endangered species. Each one of the tigers has its own individual open air enclosure. Reason being, tigers are solitary animals, so in order to prevent any fights between them, they do make sure each one has their own little environment to run around in and play in.
Tiger right there on the left.
She's looking at the door saying, please let me in. I'm like, oh, here he comes. Here comes the tiger.
She looks pretty young.
Yes, she's amazing. He's looking at you.
He was. Like a little snap.
I know it was. He was like, oh, you're getting up. Good girl. We can see you move. You are real.
I'm sorry.
She's marking her territory. She has scent glands between her toes. If she is letting another tiger that walks by know that she was there. Watch out. Oh, she's so cute. She was born here at the safari park. And then you get to mark her territory.
Okay. Hey everybody, we're here at the watering hole and we're gonna go ahead and have some lunch. So come ahead and join us. One thing that is really important to note with the watering hole is their menu is seasonal, so they're constantly changing up the offerings. I'll be the first to admit there are plenty of times I've come where I've gotten a meal I haven't been too impressed with, and other times it's really blown everything else at the park out of the water. So yeah, just be cautious of that. Regardless of the quality of food that day, one reason we always love coming here is the spectacular view. Thank you. One second. Such an awesome view of all the animals. Alright, and for lunch we got the pasta with garlic bread, mac and cheese for the girls, and for myself, a nacho with beans on the side.
Can I have you get out? I'm gonna spray you.
Yeah. Becca loved her pasta and the garlic bread. Girls really enjoyed and down with that mac and cheese. However, really underwhelmed by the nachos. The cheese was just, you know, generic, bland nacho cheese, and, you know, nothing special about the chips either.
Do you need help?
No.
You sure?
That means nothing to me. That means Daddy and millions of me.
See their tusks. I can't tell who to have to see their tusks. Okay. Kosi's nickname is the babysitter because she loves helping the mother elephants with the younger elephants.
Daddy, I see more over there.
Mm-hmm.
No, like they got one word like
You want in? Other way. Yeah, because you don't swim on and I told you to go the other way. This head means just 16 hours a day.
Hannah, careful.
Why?
You're gonna get hurt.
Wow.
Alright, so it's now just a little bit short of noon, about quarter till, and we're getting ready to head out. Kids are tired. Place did its job today, and gonna head home. Fortunate to see a lot of animals today. We got to see lions, flamingos, giraffes, rhinos, gorillas, tigers, and more. So hope you all enjoyed the videos that we got today, and we'll see you next time. Take care.